Well, licensing and permits. What licenses are we talking about? Well, IFTA license, well, most of the states it's free. Decals, few bucks. Well, IFTA filings, it depends if you know how to file IFTA. Actually, we just had IFTA training, and next one is going to be in April. So if you want to learn how to file your own IFTA, go ahead. Let's give it plus minus, it depends on the size of the carrier, while your IFTA expenses. Here's the biggest scam in the industry, right? Big mega carriers, they do charge you per week. Is that legal? No, it's not legal, because some drivers supposed to pay more, some drivers break even, and some drivers should receive money back. It depends where you're going, it depends how you're fueling. So when company charges you every week, let's say $45 per week, multiply that. How many trucks? Usually the big mega carriers, they receive money back for IFTA filings. So that's why they're able to buy another BMW or buy another house, right? Because just on IFTA, most of them are making from 50 to 100,000 of illegal money. Then most of you are paying for ELD assistance, right? For faking your logbook. Well, there you go. But today we are not talking about scams. We are talking about operational cost. What else is fixed? Well, is our load boards cost is fixed? Yes. If you are a small carrier, well, your load board cost, it depends what are you using. DAT, let's say $199. I just went in price. Pro subscription. Why should you have pro subscription? Because to really dispatch, you need to have all the tools. If you just settle in for your phone for the cheapest subscription first, you're not gonna see all the data, which is not gonna help you to survive in this market. Secondary, you're not gonna be able to do this job faster and more efficient. So I don't care if you use TruckStop, I don't care if you use DAT1. Well, make sure that you get a pro subscription. So there you go. So far we had truck payment, trailer payment, or truck lease, trailer lease. We had insurance. We have our IRP and IFTA cost. We can kind of calculate and make it fixed. So this was our fixed cost. Well, what cost do we call variable? Well, variable cost, first, the most expensive and which takes lots of our profits, of course, is fuel, correct? So it depends on which area you're going. It depends on the price of the fuel. It's going to be always different. So you cannot just say, I am spending $2,000 a week on fuel. Again, it depends on your MPG, miles per gallon. It depends on how heavy your loads are, right? Because this will affect your MPG. It depends if your driver is stealing fuel from you, right? So owner, operators, if you do have drivers, do you know how to see if your driver is stealing from you? Simply look at this week. Look how many miles on ELD he was driving and look at his fuel receipts. Well, take the total miles, divide by those gallons, and if your MPG for brand new truck is less than 7, well, definitely he's selling that fueling on every truck stop. Why? Because fuel is expensive. Another owner operator comes to him and says, hey, Mike, I'll pay you instead of $350 $4, I'll give you $250 cash. And don't you think drivers do that? That's how they make extra money. Well, it took me a while to figure out because I trust people. I like how the driver can really lie to me. I am nice to them. I'm giving them brand new truck. I am giving them PlayStation in a truck. I'm giving them TV. I am giving them Nespresso coffee machine. I am buying them brand new pillows and a bedding set. That's how good owner of the company I was, right? And still, they gonna steal from me? So that was the biggest disappointment when I find out. And you know who was stealing? The closest people to you. People who would pretend to be your friends. People who would say, I'm the most honest person on this earth. So pay attention to that. So that's our fuel cost, right? So fuel cost is going to be variable expenses. For dispatchers, you need to pay attention. If you go into East Coast, for example, if you go to California, if you go to the states where fuel is more money, well, if you're not getting enough rate per mile, do not send your truck for East Coast, because again, you putting them out of the business. You taking their profits away. So that's why we need to know operational cost as a dispatcher. You need to know MPG for the truck. That's why a lot of times we are looking for lighter load if it's not a winter time and we're not going through Wyoming or we're not going through Nebraska or North Dakota, right? Because we don't want our light trailer flip. But most of the time, we do not want to have heavy loads. Why? Because we're using more fuel. We're using more brakes if we're going through mountains, right? People who tell, oh my God, I always take my drivers to West Virginia because TQL gave me $200 more. Really? You take him to West Virginia first. The routes, in West Virginia, the black ice, there is not enough shops there. So if something happens to your truck, well, you actually not helping your carrier, you putting them in the position where they cannot find the towing system, that they spending more money on fuel and on their brakes, right? Because the drivers don't really downshift. Drivers on our automatic trucks, they think that they know it all. So they kill your brand new trucks. Guys, remember, because your truck is automatic, that doesn't mean that you do not have to learn how to downshift, right? Well, usually the new drivers or drivers who do not care about your equipment, the only time they know it when their tires go on fire. Have you ever seen that? Probably you did. But let's go back. Well, another thing is maintenance and repairs. So to predict your operational cost, approximately we are putting nowadays 15 cents per mile for our preventive maintenance. What is a preventive maintenance? Well, preventive maintenance is a maintenance which has to be done no matter what. And if you guys professional drivers, what do we have to do? Well, we need to change our brakes, we need to change our oil, our tires, right? We need to make sure that we check on our reefers, we check the filters and everything else. So this is preventive maintenance. So nowadays, in this economy, it's already calculated that it's cost us 15 cents per mile. And it's not the same as your breakdown account. So experts are suggesting for us to survive when unexpected breakdowns happen or we have to call road assistance or accidents, we as a carriers should have another account and put their money all the time. And that would be another 15 cents per mile if you really want to survive. So my question is, in this market, with all of these expenses already, do you think we have the luxury of putting 15 cents to our breakdown account? Not really. We are pushing our drivers to go to the last minute. And there is another problem is, well, remember, you go with one illegal tire, second illegal tire, third illegal tire, you go with the bad brakes. Eventually, you're going to spend more money because then you need to do alignment on your truck, right? That's going to cost money. If you don't do alignment on your truck, the other tires which are good, well, they becoming not good tires because alignment is important. So a lot of times people think, I am smarter. I am just pushing my truck to the last minute repairs. And those last minute repairs actually cost you way more. So in a smart trucking and people who have been in this industry for a while, we already learned that you cannot wait till the last minute. Preventive maintenance is gonna save you more money. So that's about preventive maintenance. What about factoring? Factoring cost, is this fixed or is it variable cost? Who can help me out? If there, I see my students there, help me out. So is factoring and dispatch fees, is this going to be fixed or it's going to be variable?